Yo, Guda, is this fucking mic on? Man, welcome to the Gym Podcast. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. Yes, sir. Welcome to the Gym Podcast.
What up, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Gin Podcast. This is your host, Gilbert Sanchez. If you're new here, you can call me G as always. But on this actual podcast, we are located in San Antonio, Texas. If this is your first time, just like I said before, which I don't know why I repeated it, but if this is your first time, appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching. If you're on all streaming platforms right now, appreciate you clicking on the link. I know sometimes people would rather watch videos than actually listen to audio. But I mean, hey, however you support, I appreciate you. But man, last podcast episode was a crazy one. We if I'm not mistaken, we had Sean on here, which was owner of Curry's Barbecue. Yeah, I think that's what it is. And then he owns Pinch Broil House too as well downtown. Actually, two locations. For sure downtown. I don't remember the second one, but man, shout out to Sean because he's a dope dude. If you watch the episode, you'll know that our conversation was fucking dope. And I only met him like an hour before the actual, or like 10 minutes before we actually went live, which is crazy because you can just see the type of just the connection. But yeah. But on this episode, and I was telling her off air that she's actually probably one of four. Actually, now that I think about it, probably like one of six girls. But she's doing big things. She has her own clothing brand. She's releasing, just clothing. But on top of that, and it's funny I'm about to say this, like, because when you're looking from the outside in, you think that like she would have a photographer, but she takes pictures by herself.
Yeah.
But Bree, what's up? How you doing today?
I'm like, what's up? I'm like, wait, can I talk now? I'm ready.
Man, but just going back to that, because I was looking at your Instagram, obviously, and I'm like, what the fuck? And that's why you caught me off guard whenever you told me you take your pictures by yourself. Well, actually, I mean, on a tripod, right?
Yeah, and that's interesting because I'm actually curious to know like what people do see from like the outside in. Because sometimes I look at it and I'm like, damn, I could be doing more, like,
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I can't say I do it completely all by myself, but it is all by myself. If not, it's my sister like taking the pictures of
Yeah.
me or with me, and she's not like. I mean, she might become the world's best photographer doing this, but right now she's like, that's not her passion. So
What's your sister's name?
Lizette,
Lizette?
yeah,
Oh, okay, cool,
she's a
cool.
badass bitch.
Yeah. I know, like I said, we're talking off air and you mentioned her name, and unfortunately, I mean, she wasn't able to be here, but
Yeah.
she's kind of like behind the scenes whenever it comes to your clothing brand. So that's
Yeah.
pretty dope.
She's the secret weapon to Fuego. We're both like the body of the store.
Yeah, I didn't even mention the clothing brand, but it's called Fuego.
Oh, yeah.
Fuego, right? Or is it
Yes,
Fuego
It's Fuego.
Fuego, okay, bet.
Yeah, well, our name officially is Fuego Fash, but I mean, Fuego is who we are.
Yeah, that's what you're kind of just more known by, right?
Yeah.
And plus it's easier rather than just saying like the Fash, I think. But
Yeah.
I mean it is what it is. But shit, we I know I told you off air I got these questions, but I mean just like every other brand, every other clothing spot, every other company, I mean, what kind of got you into the whole starting an actual brand?
Well, pretty much, I feel like my whole life, my whole life has brought me to where I am right now.
Yeah.
But I guess how I've grown up, like throughout the past 4 years being in school, I definitely transitioned into like different people of who I wanted to be. And I started doing like makeup. I started coming out in videos more, creating my own videos, putting just random shit together, like getting
Yeah.
my creative side alive. And with Fuego, it just made sense to be out of school with the business because I actually went into school as a business student and then thought I like changed my mind in between, but it all turned out to come back around
Yeah.
to that. And with Fuego, that just gives me like those opportunities, or it creates all those roles for me.
That's
So,
crazy. Going back to the like switching, you just switch majors, right? Is that what you're
yeah,
referring
like
to?
halfway, I
Yeah.
went from like business to communications,
Yeah.
but with the minor in business, it all worked out still the
I
same.
I don't think I've ever talked about this, but I switched majors like 5 times.
That's good. You have to
Yeah.
find yourself.
Yeah.
Like you have
I
to.
had no I went in I was talking about this on the last podcast. I went in undeclared, so I had no idea what I wanted to do for about a year and a half, maybe about a year.
Yeah.
And then went into cybersecurity and then just ended up just dropping the course. And yeah, it was a wild college situation, but
Yeah.
that's good though. You said you
Thank you.
graduated recently, right? Well,
Yeah,
actually,
and well, now it's a
yeah.
year. It's December. Like what?
Thanks. So you're
So
about to graduate.
yeah, I've been doing Fuego this whole year. It's just been like a new year because I'm not a student anymore after years of being a student.
Yeah, that's crazy. So when did you actually start the brand?
Well, me and my sister lived like
Yeah.
a Hannah Montana life where no one knew like the store was ours.
Oh, okay,
Just for
okay.
a while, because like learning how to be business owners, knowing exactly what we wanted to do, how the brand to look.
Yeah, yeah.
It also started off completely online. So we were just like pushing that out, you know? So we started it in June of 2020.
Damn.
And then we didn't start doing pop-ups and markets of March this year, which is when we start putting like, well, my face, like both of ours, like just us more in
Yeah,
front of
yeah.
the brand. You know what I
Sh-
mean?
So she's on social media too.
I try to force her.
Yeah, yeah.
That's also why like my sister's not here
Yeah.
today, but she's always with Fuego. But she's just like camera shy. But we're gonna definitely get her out there. Y'all will see
Nah,
more of her.
no, that man, I can relate to her so much. I mean, obviously, this is like a smooth process, and like this is not the way. If you would have told me that I was going to be doing this like 2 years ago, I would have told you you're crazy.
Yeah.
It's a lot more easier now after practice, but
Hmm.
nah, I was definitely one of the type of people to be like, nah, you're not recording me, or even now, like I have a
Yeah.
hard time posting on social media. Um, but I've always been I guess what is like an introvert, right?
Yeah, no, but I was the exact same way. So it's crazy to know,
Yeah.
yeah, the same way be where I am now. And I'm like, what?
So you just mentioned COVID, or
Mhm.
June? Would you say June 2020?
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously COVID was
Yeah.
just
It was all like during COVID.
yeah, which
Mhm.
is insane. So what makes you go? What gets in your head just to be like, damn, I'm about to start this brand, and within COVID, like,
Yeah.
what makes you do
Well,
that?
we actually had starting it was probably around March or so. Like we already had our licenses, we had the store name, like everything was official. But I was always in school and my sister was always like doing whatever the heck
Yeah,
she does in it, like, you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And when COVID started, that's when there was like a chance for us to both be home. And I don't know, it just ended up working. Like
yeah.
we're like, let's push the online store now. Like it's during the pandemic, it was a hard time, but it was a time for us to truly be together. I was with only her for
Yeah,
months, you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
and we just got the business started. And yeah,
What's crazy
we're
is
here
that
now.
yeah, no, of course, it's I always applaud everybody that starts, especially during COVID,
Hmm.
let alone start a business by itself. But when like I think during the time period of 2020, I think there was a ton of money to be made online.
Yeah.
And if you
Yeah.
started something online, then it's popping just because
Hmm.
everybody was at home, businesses weren't open,
Yeah.
everything switched. I
On their
mean,
phones too,
yeah,
just looking up something.
literally everything. Well, COVID just
Uh-huh.
changed the whole fucking game whenever it came to just being on the internet.
Yeah.
TikTok was popping. I mean, it still is. So there's I mean, even now, I mean, if you wanna choose to, like, do a business, just go ahead and just open it, but,
Yeah.
I was
Like
gonna
do it.
yeah, yeah, I was gonna ask you 'cause I'm very, very curious when it comes to these things. Like, obviously, you have a website.
Hmm.
There's, like, different things you have to set up in order to, like, open up a website, so why start a website versus actually, I guess, starting off, like, doing pop-ups and stuff like that?
One, like it was straight during COVID, so
That's
those
true.
opportunities
Yeah.
weren't there. But that's truly how we wanted to start it too, because we didn't want it to be like our face all over the brand right in the beginning. We wanted people to love the store because it's, you know, like for them to see it the way we saw Fuego.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's how it just started off at first. We felt like just shopping directly online would build that connection first, then in person. Because now that we do a lot more in person
Mhm.
things, like here in San Antonio and Austin, I feel like I lose touch with online girls that we were like close to in the
Yeah.
beginning. So, well, yeah.
No, that's good. I mean, it's definitely different because
hmm
I mean, like I said, we're going back to COVID. I mean, that's a huge point.
Yeah.
But going into starting the actual website, like, how did you even what? Because I was looking at your website, and that's kind of what I went to school for. So,
hmm
what even like makes you go like, hey, I want to choose Shopify, or like, how did you even figure out how to actually get your like domain name, which is your .com? So, how did you even do all that, or did
Um,
someone help you out?
no, we did it all ourselves. So I run the website like completely now as far as everything you see on Fuego,
Yeah,
like I put in.
like all the inventory,
Yeah,
everything.
everything that's
Nice.
on there. But we did everything by ourselves. I guess for Shopify, it just seemed like the easiest thing to use right now, and everything's like compatible with it.
Hmm.
But even like,
Yeah.
no, yeah, getting like the domain, it really just started with us figuring out the name of the store, and everything else was just like little add ons to it.
That's pretty good. No,
Mhm.
that's pretty good because it's hard. Because coming into like if you're just have no idea when it comes to technology and you have to figure this stuff out, there's a ton of research that you have to do. So
Yeah.
that's even
Well, I mean, Google was our best friend.
yeah.
I mean, all the information you need is out there. You just have to look for it.
I
Yeah.
tell people that all the time. Like this stuff is totally new to me too as well. I started right before the pandemic and
Mhm.
everything was brand new. So for videos, I pretty much do all the videos. Like I
Yeah,
said,
that's
Jay
good.
takes care of the audio. But like simple stuff that I had no idea what to do. Like I didn't even. I mean, I knew what software was, like Final Cut
Yeah.
Pro and Adobe Premiere, but I didn't even know what to actually do in them.
How to get
Yeah,
started. Yeah.
which is insane. But
I wouldn't have like Fuego wouldn't be Fuego if it wasn't for what I learned at school, honestly. I felt like it was just a place where all the opportunities were, and I was like, if I'm gonna have to do this, this, and
yeah.
this for a store, I'm gonna do it right now at the university because they had like all the materials and anything we can do. So
Oh, that's pretty cool. So
yeah.
so what did what like what did they have?
So they
Uh,
had like a studio that me and my best friend like kind of put together, and she actually made her first songs in that studio.
That's
Yeah.
crazy. So
And
and this is all free, right? This is all for y'all.
yeah, this
Yeah,
is all
yeah.
for students. And since yeah, I was a communication student, so she always just came in with me and we made use out of everything.
So they
The
had
programs, every program, like
no, yeah, okay. So that yeah, that brings up a good point too. Because when I was I didn't get the like Final Cut Pro and Adobe Premiere, but
Mhm.
um like Microsoft Office, they gave that to us whenever I was at UTSA. So that was pretty dope. I didn't actually have to pay for that, but I mean that's even better. You get software that costs I mean a good amount of money whenever you get
Yeah,
it by
it was
yourself.
there for me, and I was like, if I'm not gonna have this by the end of what last year, I was like, I'm making use out of everything.
No, yeah, that's good. And a big thing that not a lot of people talk about is, I mean, actually wanting to do all these things.
hmm
So for you, I mean, what makes you want to get into like fashion? Like, why fashion?
I think it just opened every other door. Like I've always liked being in front of the camera. I always like trying on new things, and I guess just being like myself. And Fuego really lets me be myself, especially like with my sister. It's just an add on to our life, but we're building like a brand while we're doing it.
No, yeah, you're doing a damn good job. I know, yeah,
Thank you.
I know. Who did I have? And he had mentioned I was just on Instagram. I had Roland on,
Yeah.
and
Hey, shout out
yeah, yeah,
Roland.
shout out Roland. He's dope person. And I think he had introduced. I haven't met him or anything, but he
Mhm.
just introduced me to Banco.
Yeah.
And then
Banco.
yeah, yeah, and that's when I saw your stuff, and I was just like, damn, this is pretty
Oh,
dope.
that's
Yeah,
cool.
it was definitely different. I
Mhm.
for sure haven't seen anything like that within San Antonio. So,
Thank you.
yeah, yeah, of course. And then obviously, this was September, August, so it's been a while.
Mhm.
But, yeah, followed and then, yeah, it was game over after that. I knew I had to based off the what I saw on the Instagram, I was just
Yeah.
like, "This was you just had to be on the podcast because it's
Well, I'm glad you did, and I'm glad I'm one of the first girls. Like, what?
yeah.
Shout out, ladies.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you're the first girl to actually, like, have a business
Mhm.
with, like,
That's
clothing
cool.
on the
Yeah.
actual podcast. And I'm just so curious because when it comes to things that I personally don't have, like I don't have a
Mhm.
clothing brand.
Mhm.
I'm just like fuck if like I wanna just know information maybe
Yeah.
in the future start one or just little things like that that can help me out. And
Mhm.
then I'm just I'm the type of person, if I don't know something, like I want to figure it out. So
Yeah,
yeah,
you have to.
yeah, yeah.
I mean,
So
who else is gonna just be there standing to teach you?
so basically, you're helping you're helping me out right now.
Yeah,
No, but
I'm glad.
yeah, but that's the interaction. I mean, when it comes to fashion, growing up, or just in general, like I was mentioning off air, any inspirations, any people that you're like, damn, this kind of made me want to start a clothing brand.
My sister. I'm like,
Yeah,
cause she's like my older sister. She always had cool things. I got to see her grow up before I grew up. You know, I'm like, and I wouldn't be the person I am without her. Like we're truly like two. There's three of us, so we're three peas in a pod. But me and my older sister are like this.
yeah, yeah,
And yeah, she has to be my biggest inspo. I wish I could say someone like famous or
yeah,
known. I would say like Rihanna or Beyonce. I love the way they're boss women, you know, like they're
yeah.
opening businesses, they're doing a bunch of entrepreneur shit, and they have like the respect. I mean, they deserve it. But truly my sister.
No, that's good. I mean,
Yeah.
most people do say famous people. So when you
Yeah.
get to say like a family member or a friend
Mhm.
or someone in general like that, I mean, you just hearing you say that just means like that person must mean a lot to you.
Yeah.
Like that,
I would do anything for her.
yeah. No, yeah, and it's one of those things where I mean, I said this in the last podcast, and I've always had a group of friends for about 15 years, and it gets weird sometimes when I have conversations with people and they don't have that. Like for
Mhm.
you, obviously
Yeah.
you have your sister growing up. Are you the middle child?
No, I'm
No.
the baby.
Oh, okay. So you had two older sisters.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I mean, you've
So I'm
always
like both of them,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, you've always had somebody,
Mhm.
and I've met people that are the only child, and
Mhm.
they have nobody to rely on, nobody to relate things to.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you can relate to your parents, but you can't. It's not the same as a brother and sister, right?
Yeah. It's really your best friend for life. Like,
Yeah.
I'm on those bitches are my best friends.
No, that's good. That's good. What's the age difference? I mean, you don't gotta say their age or your age, but what's the age
We
difference?
actually have like pretty big gaps.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, like we're all at least like no, we all have a few years. Like none of us are like 2 years apart or
So it's
so.
more than 2 years?
Yeah.
Dang, that's
More than
crazy.
5 years each one of us.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy because
So they're like my older sisters. Like
yeah,
I got to see like my middle sister be like emo phase of like when MySpace was out,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
I got to see my oldest sister be like I don't know like 2000s, and you know like I got to see
Crazy.
every generation with
Yeah.
them.
Man, my life was totally opposite. Like my brother is a year and a half older than me.
Mhm.
My sister on
Oh
top of
yeah.
that is a 3.5. Yeah, no, I'm 4.5 years older than me, and then my oldest is 5. Yeah.
Oh dang.
Yeah, that
No,
goes my
just
mom.
with me and my middle sister, we're 6 years apart.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's
And we
so
all grew
different.
up super close. That's what's like even crazier because we're till this day super close. Like always.
It wasn't like annoying, like because I mean when you grow up and you have that like little sister or little brother, you're like, damn.
I'm pretty sure I was
Yeah.
annoying because I was the youngest,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know? But besides that, no, like they're who I've been with my whole
Yeah.
life. And I've always felt comfortable. If I need anyone, it's going to be my sisters first before I'm like, let me go make a friend for a few months. Like, you know, I always have my sisters.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Gotcha, gotcha. So I just thought of this right now, but whenever it comes to your brand and your just releasing clothing, um, how do you come up with like inspiration? Like how do you know like damn I want this next. I want this
Yeah.
piece next and I want to release this.
We do a lot of stuff. Well, we do everything like in person. So we travel directly to like California and other states to make sure what we're buying is like what we want for the brand. And from there, we always just get more and more inspo. Like the more clothing we've gone through, we're like, let's get something else this time that looks like this now. And it's just something, I don't know, with just different trends, we try to think of like what's fuego
Yeah.
out of everything.
So
Yeah.
what would you say is like your most like popular pieces? Like or like I guess category? Like what do you sell the most?
Mm,
Or is just everything in general?
I'm like pretty much everything, like, I don't know, I've been blessed to have
Yeah.
girls that really fuck with the store the way we do, you know, like, they see fuego, they feel fuego, they wanna be fuego, like, yes, you know, like, girl,
Yeah.
yes, but it's pretty much been everything. I mean, we've had a few pieces that go like quick that are really like different. And I
Mm-hmm.
think that's what the store is like. It's different, you know, because it's all like hot items, honestly.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, we know we're selling to women, but we want it to be like your hottest little piece in your closet. Like, that's ours. And the ones that have sold the most are like different. Like, we had one that was rhinestones and was like all open from the front and tied together. That was probably like the biggest that we restocked a couple of times. And then other ones have been like with like butterfly detailing and they're like see through. So I don't know. It's the stuff that we get that we're like, fuck, you think someone's gonna like it? Because it's like, damn, it's so pretty, but maybe it's
Yeah.
not what people wear. And then those are the ones that
Sell the
are,
most. Yeah.
are
No,
the
that's
best
that's
sellers.
that's pretty good
Yeah.
because you never know what. I mean, I guess coming into a clothing brand, you just never know if it's gonna sell or not. So
Yeah.
when it does, it's like, oh fuck, people like
Like they
this.
liked
Yeah, yeah, that's
it.
good. Another question too is when you go to like your Instagram, most of your outfits are of you, and I'm
Mhm.
assuming like your friends, right, or just
Yeah.
close people to you.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, everyone who has shopped, I've met. Well, not everyone who
Mm-hmm.
has shopped, but a lot of the girls you see on the store, are girls we've met throughout this year with Fuego,
Dope.
and that are now friends. Because everyone I meet through Fuego and is like there, like we end up becoming friends. Like, you know, you're family now. You've
Yeah,
been with
yeah.
us this year, and yeah, the models that I've had in the past, it'd be like my best friend and other girls that we've met with the brand. So
That's pretty cool.
yeah, Fuego has brought me more into the city, honestly,
Yeah.
because I was just so stuck in like my university. I like woke up and it would
Yeah.
turn to night and I'm still there. So now I've met a lot more people that I guess I've seen before, but I'm able to meet
That's
now.
pretty cool because I mean, you're just creating a family. Like it's
Yeah.
just a family within the actual brand or the
Yeah.
brand family, I guess.
It's fun.
Which is huge because you go into these huge clothing brands and they don't have the same type of
Mhm.
connection that you have
Yeah.
with their I guess their audience, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, because if you pull up, we're like, hey,
Yeah,
what's
yeah. They already know the vibe. They already know that you're
up?
outgoing. They already know what to expect. So
Yeah.
that's like,
And it's always gonna be fun, like when you're
yeah,
with us.
yeah.
If you're pulling up, it's a little party, you know?
That's dope. That's so dope, man. Yeah, this is it's a crazy ass fucking brand. That's
Thank you.
yeah, that huge part I want to get into is
Mhm.
because like I said, you're one of the first people actually a girl to actually be on the podcast and own a clothing brand.
Mhm.
And when it comes to I guess businesses and just I guess life in fucking general,
Yeah.
people are fucking weird and people are crazy. And there's this stigma around girls like, hey, you're not supposed to own a business. Like
Mhm.
you're that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to be a housewife. Like that's
Ma
the
ew.
yeah, for real. And that's still I've
Ma
seen
I
people
don't cook, I don't clean.
no, but there's still people that think like that, which
Yeah,
is
no, yeah.
insane. So when owning a business, I mean, has there been any like bash towards you or any like crazy shit that, like fuck, like I don't know, I don't want to do this anymore because of this.
No, in a way, the most of the things actually comes from other women, which sucks, but I think that's why I don't know. Guys actually push you more to be like a boss, which like y'all, not y'all, sorry. You just have more of
Yeah.
like a understanding when you've been like doing different things. And guys who or I've learned a lot from like my really good friend Benko.
Yeah, yeah.
Like he's a boss in his own ways with music and we just relate to a lot of things and I've seen it like with friendships like that I could see why guys or anyone would tell women that, but sadly, it's women.
No,
Well,
that's
sadly, it's been a few women, but
yeah.
besides that, I mean, no.
Oh,
Mm,
because there's just some hating ass people, right? It's
yeah,
just that's I'm pretty sure that's what
I
it
mean,
is.
that's life. There's
Yeah.
gonna be haters. I'm on, but y'all gonna keep watching.
No, that's yeah. I mean, like I said, it's always that stigma around ladies that
Mhm.
you can't you're not supposed to do anything. And I was talking to somebody a couple of days ago, and they were talking about a situation where uh there was a job opening within his company, and the resume on the girl was like 10 times better than the guy, and the
Yeah.
guy got the position. And it's just like, that don't
It
make
just
sense.
sucks. Like we still live in a man's world, I guess.
Yeah.
But there's so many like girls that are doing boss shit that I'm like, no, I'm sorry. We're gonna take over. We're gonna take over soon.
Yeah, no, I'm all about it because
Yeah.
if I've always thought if Like if one girl can do it, like whoever, like if
Yeah.
just anybody, then why can't the next? And then
Hmm.
if there's a, I'm always if like
But I think it's also like you have to not like care and just do it and not like, not even pay attention
yeah.
to a lot of the outside stuff. And you have to have it in you, I feel. I hope to inspire girls to do like run their businesses and see everything I'm doing as a girl,
Yeah.
to do their own shit. Yeah.
No, pretty simple. I mean, that's there's no other way to explain it, right?
Hmm.
Like you just I think for me when it comes to that, I just the only thing is just motivation. Like if you're not self-motivated, and I've always said this is kind of crazy. I think if you ever need someone to push you, then you're probably not doing it
Yeah.
the right way. Because I mean, you have
Yeah.
to have that like that it factor within yourself.
Yeah.
Like
Like wake up and want
yeah,
it.
exactly, and it's insane to me sometimes when people don't have it.
Hmm.
Like fuck, why don't you have it? Like there's something wrong with you. That's
Yeah.
it sounds kind of fucked up, but I'm like, why don't you have it? But I
Yeah.
mean, there's all types of shit. People been in
It's not meant for everyone.
yeah, and I mean, I always like to think logical, like how was your childhood? Like if there's anything wrong, like that makes you think the way you think and makes
Yeah.
you not be motivated because yeah, there's a lot of shit that goes into it.
And
But
people are grown up, like people grow up different ways. So yeah, I think we're all still dealing with healing and trauma in
no,
our own
yeah.
ways.
So that brings me up a good ass fucking point because I
Mhm.
saw it on a different podcast the other day. Is like everybody deals with trauma. So
Mhm.
whether if it's like for me, my biggest trauma was probably I didn't have a dad growing up. So like
Mhm.
my mom had 4 kids. Like I said, we're not that far apart. So I've said it before on the podcast. My mom was 22 and she had 4 kids, which is insane thought to even think about.
God.
My father wasn't there, and we so my 2 oldest sisters have their dad. My brother has his dad, and then I have my dad. So we're all basically
Mhm.
all have different dads,
Yeah.
and there was no one in the picture, no father figure. So what I was gonna get to is for you, whether like growing up or even in the business, was there like any hardships growing up to make you think the way you think? Because I'm like,
I
she's
feel like
motivated.
yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely am motivated and I'm like a hustler, but I get it from my parents. And mainly because I've seen them like work and go their whole lives. Like my parents are from Mexico and they've just hustled for everything they have now. And I can't complain about my childhood, which makes me like want, like, it motivates me every day because I want to give back to them. So I'm like, that's what has, yeah,
Yeah,
pushed
no.
me like so far and still pushes me every day.
I've met people that are exact opposite than you. Yeah, like they will they just have both parents and they pretty much got everything they wanted and
Yeah.
I mean that kind of just sets them off like, hey, I'm always gonna rely on my parents at
And
this
it could
point.
just be like sometimes like privilege. Like for us,
Yeah.
like my parents were immigrants and like, I mean, yeah, we're Mexican as fuck. And
Yeah,
you
yeah.
just grow up like work, 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 work.
Yeah, yeah. How big is the Mexican influence with your clothing brand? Like do you have any like actual influence, like pieces that are influenced by like the Mexican culture?
We not yet because it's like our first year, so I'm still like trying to learn how to do everything or what I want for Fuego. But I know like we hosted Fuego Fiesta and we bring, all the Hispanic culture. That
Yeah.
was for Hispanic Heritage Month. Like through my brand, I do want to represent like who I am, because yeah, like I said, I'm Mexican as fuck and
Yeah.
I'm gonna show it through my brand.
Well, the brand's name was Fuego, so
Yeah,
off
it
the
has to be
top,
in Spanish.
yeah.
Like that's my household language. So
Yeah, off the top of like the brand is its name itself. So right there and then people know that well, one, 9 times out of 10 that a Mexican or Hispanic is going to be running the actual
yeah.
company because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of influence.
Mhm.
If it takes that much that you have to name your brand, which is good. I'm not
Yeah.
saying it's bad, but
No,
you
yeah.
can just tell little things like that. Like there's going to be some influence within the brand, and
Mhm.
it's dope that you're actually doing things like that because when it comes to I mean San Antonio is a little bit different, but I think
Mhm.
overall I don't think there's well one, we're a minority, so that's one of the things that's kind of fucked up. But putting on for I guess your culture and your
Mhm.
Hispanic, there's not a lot of people like to do it because they're like I guess they're maybe ashamed or
Yeah.
they're just
And I'm born and raised in San Antonio, like the South Side. So I'm like, I represent our
yeah,
city well. Like I love
yeah.
it. And San Antonio is always home. If I'm away for too long, I'm like, I need to go home. It's just peaceful here.
No, yeah, yeah. And you mentioned before that you get most of your pieces, or you actually go see the pieces, like in California and things like that. So,
Yeah.
is there like specific places out that you go, or like what do you go to, like manufacturers or vendors or?
Yeah, so people who make the clothing and then have where you can like select from. And then
Okay,
I go in and pick like what I feel like fits my brand. Yeah.
that's dope. Do
hmm
you get to try on stuff there?
No.
No, so
So
you just
like
have
I
to.
literally have to
Yeah,
touch it, turn it, play with it.
yeah.
Like, do I love this? Do I not like this? Yeah.
And like I said, I'm intrigued by this, so I'm asking like personal
Oh
questions
yeah.
at this point. But when it comes to sizing, how is that something that you kind of figure out by yourself, or is just like a universal like sizing when it comes to like clothing, or
I
specifically your pieces?
Yeah, I guess the more we bought, like sizing has just kind of made a little more sense. Like the more we see like girls
Yeah,
shopping and like I could recognize, okay, then she would buy this, she would buy this, she would buy this. Cause I mean it goes off of measurements, but it's helped a lot seeing people like in person who are purchasing our stuff. Cause then I could see what I need for. And we actually opened up just recently, and it's crazy. It's our first year, and we're already doing like plus sizes.
yeah, yeah.
But that's something that I felt like we needed. I hated anyone to like turn away and think they're not fuego. Like, bitch, your fuego, come back.
No, that's good because I mean, but a big thing though is I'm assuming because when I've heard of like people starting clothing brands and like t-shirts, like if you go up to a 2X, it's like a little bit more money.
hmm
And that's kind of always like the downfall, I would
Yeah.
assume. Like, oh, we're only going to release up to XL because it's going to cost us money. But you're doing the exact opposite because you're like,
Yeah, and it is more work. I think that's
yeah,
what people don't know. Like, it is harder to find anyone who makes like bigger clothing. I don't understand why.
yeah,
Humans like to eat. We like to eat,
hell yeah, yeah.
but it is just putting a little bit more work into it. But it's possible.
You said something that was leading to my next question. So the hardest thing about starting this brand, what would you say that would be,
The hardest thing about starting this brand,
or just in
or
general?
like
Like,
now,
yeah,
I think patience, because I want bigger and better. Every week we have our goals and what we have to do, but we're already trying to reach for what we know we'd be able to do in like even 3 months to 6 months from now. So I think it's being able to be like chill, live, and do what you have to do right
yeah.
now to get there.
Man, it's crazy. Not a lot of people think like that. Like they don't have. I think for me is I had to get like that. Like I had
hmm
to figure out that like we're still young. Like I'm 26 right now, but
Yeah.
we are literally man. Like my mom, she tells me all the time. Like I feel so young, and I'm like, you are young. I mean, you haven't hit
Yeah.
that age yet.
I tell everyone I'm not gonna be old till I'm like 86.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like you can still, and it's crazy because you can do so much stuff within a short period of time.
hmm
Like let's just say you are 50 years old. By 55, you can be a millionaire. Like that's
Yeah.
how quick like things are happening
Yeah.
now. That's why I tell people all the time. Like if you want to start something, or if you think you're too old, or yeah, if you think you don't have enough time, 9 times out of 10 you probably do have time. Your sister is kind of the behind the scenes, so I want to
hmm
get into a little bit of that. So, is there who comes up with the marketing? Do y'all have like a marketing strategy for the actual brand?
Not really. It's pretty much anything I do. Like if I'm like, okay, I got this idea, let's
Yeah,
do
yeah,
this. Like that's what we have to do. We gotta make this content to make this possible. We just do it. I plan it like weekly sometimes. Sometimes I do like to be super active online. Like I want Fuego to be like alive. Anytime you're like, on your phone, you could just go and Fuego somehow like interacting with you. So I don't know. Sometimes I think of things in the moment and
yeah.
we gotta make it happen.
So I got a question with that. So have you ever got, I guess, like a comment, or I guess felt the type of way that like you're posting too much?
No, just because I feel like if I'm posting too much, then unfollow me.
No, yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
That's a
like
yeah.
someone's gonna stand
Yeah.
me.
No, that's a good that's what I would answer,
Yeah.
honestly. Like, I mean, people I've seen people do it all the time or say it all the time. Like, if you don't like what I'm tweeting, or if I'm tweeting too much,
Mhm.
or if I'm posting too much, like it's so simple. You can literally unfollow.
Yeah.
And
It's different if you're being like an asshole online
yeah,
or something,
yeah,
but
yeah,
but truly, I mean, the world's all online. Like we have to be able to support people and get used to seeing people active online. I want to post more, and I always think it's crazy cuz I want, like, at least for me being like Fuego, I want to be posting actively throughout the
Yeah.
day, you know? But then if you see 20 posts on it, it's not, I guess, like kind of forming it to Twitter, you know?
Yeah.
But it's Instagram, so people are used to one post a day, and that's too much.
No, yeah. It's I mean, then again, stories are popping right now. So
Yeah.
stories are pretty much what people see the most
Hmm.
versus actual posts. But shit, I guess the next question I have is I guess when it comes to the financial part of it, running a clothing brand, that's a huge part.
Hmm.
Money is kind of
Yeah.
what keeps it going and thinking about your next drop, thinking about your next piece. So I guess financially, how hard was it to figure out like, damn, this is something I would assume it's probably very, very hard. But I mean,
Yeah.
you figure it out, right?
Yeah, it's a lot of planning. So I run Fuego full time since I graduated, and my sister bartends and runs Fuego with me.
Nice, yeah.
So we're truly like starting off the store with what the store can bring for us, you know? And I can't complain. I feel like I'm not like balling out in life,
Yeah,
like, you
yeah.
know, but I'm like I'm taken care of. The store's still working. The store's providing for itself without me really having to put like I put in my time like all day every day, but I don't have to put in like my own money to it right now. And that's what I actually wanted for the store, cuz I wanted to know I could do it without, you know, killing myself first.
Mhm. No, yeah, that makes perfect sense because
Mhm.
there's I mean, I've heard of companies that get so wrapped around like I guess expenses, like they
Mhm.
trying to take the business to the next level and they get so bombarded with fucking expenses that they go overboard and then
Yeah.
the company's out, like they're not running business anymore. So that's good though. That's good that
Yeah.
you have
Yeah, because
actual
it's like doing it all like through a budget. And the
yeah.
more we do it, we just get better at it. Like even traveling to California, I went, I think, like every month this year. And now it's like, I know exactly what I need to take. I know what change I need, like,
Oh, I see what you
like
mean.
for
Yeah.
what I'm doing.
Yeah, I see
Like,
what you mean. Shit. Anything? What are you working on in the future? What can like I guess people expect, or girls or guys? I mean,
yeah.
what can we expect from you in the future?
I guess having like more opportunities to even collab with, because right now, I mean, I get pieces and they go out so fast that I feel like I haven't been able to create like the collabs I want, even with just different girls from the city. So what I've been planning for like even January, February, I'm all y'all have to wait for me. I gotta I gotta get things going. But to have more collabs with just people from all over. I would say the city, but we do like I have girls from all over. So
What's the craziest like spot you got an order from that you're like, damn, people order from here? Like,
like a random place. It's probably not so random, but to me, I'm like, I don't know, like the places I don't know, like Utah or Minnesota
yeah, I
and
mean,
like other
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
states like that.
No, that's I mean, I've never been to Utah or
Yeah.
Minnesota, so like I don't
Cause it's
know.
where it's places that I know, like I don't know anyone from, or, you know, like they either saw Fuego through Google or TikTok or Instagram. So it's something I'm doing from here, you know?
That is
Mhm.
crazy. I mean, so you're on TikTok. So
Yeah.
how has that been? Because I mean, TikTok obviously is huge, and I'm
Yeah,
always
it
curious.
is honestly, and I'm pushing more to be on it because that's how I started off the store pretty much. Like I would do so much TikTok content, and it like we really got followers from all over. Like that, I just feel like it opens a lot of doors for you that Instagram just isn't going to. Instagram
Yeah.
makes your life hard.
My buddy Ron, he'll probably call me tomorrow or the day after, just be like, "Did you post that TikTok?" And I haven't posted like in 3 weeks,
You have
but
to, even if you
yeah,
get 5 views, that's 5 people that don't follow you on like normal life.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
saw it, you
And
know?
he's like a tech genius. He creates websites too as well, and
Mhm.
he's very very familiar with like coding and stuff.
Oh,
But
that's super cool.
yeah, but he's one of those people that are pushing TikTok right now. But I'm
Yeah.
like, man, I ain't up for dances. Like I think it's mostly dances,
Well,
but
see, I can't dance at all.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
I'm not gonna get on TikTok and dance. And I also like can't really just record myself and be like
yeah,
talking. So I feel like you have to put like your own create, like literally just be you on the app
yeah.
and you'll make it.
I just post motivational videos, man.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
all I
on
do.
people need motivation.
Yeah, yeah. But
I always need motivation.
that's why I do it because I feel like there's people out there like growing up. If I mean, obviously I was on social media, but I never saw any motivational videos until I was like 22,
Mhm.
like 23, and I was already out. Like I was already living out of my house. Like I have moved out already. I'm like,
Yeah.
Where was that shit like 5 years ago?
I know it's something you should have like as
Yeah.
a child, right?
Yeah.
That we don't do.
But yeah. But man, this has been a crazy conversation. This has been dope. Like I said, I loved having you on. I wanted to have you on.
Thank you for
Yeah,
having me.
yeah, of course, just to pick your brain about the business, or about the brand, about yourself, about personal experiences, because it's always yeah, it's just always dope to learn new shit. But
Yeah, and I love sharing because I mean I'm always just in my own world, so it always feels good to be able to talk to someone and reflect.
yeah, of course. But what's where can they find you at? What's the Instagram handles? I mean, TikTok handles.
Okay,
What are those?
our website
Oh
is
yeah, that too.
fuegofash.com, and then on Instagram and TikTok we're at official Fuego Fash.
Perfect. So go follow them. I'm gonna put all this information in the description so y'all can go check that stuff out and maybe
Yeah,
cop some pieces.
check us out. We got hot shit.
Yeah. But man, anything you want to say? Anything else you want to talk about before we head up out of here?
No.
Nope.
This was Fuego. I'm on Be Fuego.
This was dope, guys. If you're still watching right now, go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you haven't. If you're listening on all podcast platforms, I appreciate you. But man, until next time, people, peace.
Oh yeah.
Pretty dope, right?
Yeah.
Nothing too
Let's
hard.
keep going talking all night.